Hey guys, so I'm here in my shark blanket, in my pajamas, and I've been watching other people's videos and I realized I need to step it up a bit because my channel's lacking effort. So I'm gonna go get ready and I'm gonna put a little bit extra effort into today's video because you deserve it. I need to wear something summery, something cute, something fun because this video is all about summer. They're like towel. And then this, because how summery can you get? Imagine this was like my thumbnail. Hey guys! It's almost August already and I literally can't even believe it. If you feel like your summer has not been that exciting and you really want to amp it up for August, but you don't know what to do, all your friends are on vacation, they're going to camp, or they just all have plans, and what if you don't? What if you have no plans? And you have no money? Well, I got you covered. Here are some original and fun, cheap but memorable ways to spend your August. You do not need a lot of friends. You do not need a lot of money to do these things. But they are worth it. These are not things that I'm just like, oh, go for a walk. Because, I mean, yeah, you can do that. But is that gonna make your August memorable? No. So let's go. Number 1, lie down or dance in the rain. These, picture perfect moment. It's free. The rain, you just gotta wait for the rain to happen. If you live in a climate where it doesn't really rain, wait for it. It will rain at least once. You can go dance in the rain. Nobody's watching, and if they are, it's probably because they wish they were joining in with you. When it comes to laying down in the rain, that's the one you kind of have to be a little bit careful for. But if you live in a rural area, you don't live in the city, then go for it. But if you do live in the city, just be careful. If you have a driveway, if you live in a house or something like that, that is a safer option, but you can always find a park and just lay down in the grass, and yes, you'll get muddy, yes, you'll get all soaking wet, but doesn't matter. No, it's a memorable moment for your August. Just have fun with yourself. That is the most important lesson in this video. Number 2, go see a park movie for free. These happen all the time. You really have to go look for them though. You're not just gonna like stumble upon one really. You have to like go look for it. Search up your city or town and, you know, park movie or drive-in movie, something like that. And they are usually free. If not, like they're like $5 to get in, but you can find some free ones and they play like classics, they play new movies, you know, they play like wide range so you can find something that you like. Okay, next one. This one might be a little bit harder to find, but I have faith. Find fireworks. There are so many holidays in the summer, and I know most of the holidays happen in July, but there are holidays this August. You're just gonna have to look for it. Local things, national, international. There are fireworks just for random reasons all the time. Go see those. They're free. You just gotta look outside your window or go to a park. I think something about fireworks, they're just so memorable. Like, you know, they're so big and so loud and so colorful that they stick in your brain as like a really distinct memory that you can have for the summer. Like, oh, I got to see fireworks this summer. It's explosive, you know? So that is one way to make your August very memorable. Okay, next, learn how to make friendship bracelets. I have one and I've literally been wearing it for 2 years and it has not come off. I made it when I went camping 2 years ago and it's still here. I love it. You can even see I literally have a tan from it. There are free patterns online and lots of websites and YouTube videos to teach you how to make these friendship bracelets. There are very intricate patterns that you can find online as well if you figure out how to do those. I cannot figure it out for the life of me. Those things are so confusing, but if you have the brains for it, definitely go for it. And if you get really good, you can honestly start selling these bracelets. People sell friendship bracelets all the time and you can honestly make some cash from that, and you can start your own small business, which would be such a great opportunity for you if that's what you're into. Otherwise, just make it for fun. Even though they're called friendship bracelets, you don't have to make them for friends or with friends, or don't have to have someone make it for you. You can just make them for yourself because you are your own best friend. Aww. Okay, next, do some tie-dyeing, but naturally. You can use turmeric, beets, avocado skin, and blueberries to make a wide array of colors. Blueberries, obviously, they're blue, purple. Turmeric is like a yellow, orange. Beets are red. And then avocado skin turns pink, and it's so cool. You can find white shirts from anywhere. If you have any in your closet, you can go thrifting, find some white shirts, or you can buy new ones. They have them at Dollarama, they have them at Walmart, they have them at Winners. You know, they have white shirts everywhere, and they would not be very pricey. But if you do have some of your own, or you have hand-me-downs from parents, siblings, cousins, friends, anybody, tie-dyeing is so much fun. You can do the bucket method. You can use squeegee like ketchup bottles to do it. Or what I saw recently on TikTok is you can use water guns. If you have water guns, if you do have friends or siblings or someone to do this with, you fill up the water guns with your dye mixture, and then you like spray each other while you're wearing all white, so your clothes get tie-dyed while you're having a water gun fight, and I think that would be super fun. Okay, this one's a little odd, but this is for the homebodies out there. Recreate your room in Minecraft. I have done this so many times. It's so much fun because honestly you have a limited like selection of blocks unless you have like add-ons and like texture packs and stuff like that. But if you don't, then you have to be very creative and you have to see what you have in your Minecraft inventory and like how can you make your room accurate. If you do have friends or siblings or family members that do play Minecraft and you want to play together, you guys can try to make like your own house. And even if you don't want to recreate your current room, you can make your own dream room. That is super fun. You get to envision, you get to kind of be creative and think about like, what do I want my room to look like? What do I want my future room to look like using Minecraft? And that's just super fun. It's, you know, it's time consuming and you get to be inside, and if that's what you're into, then yeah, it's a great pastime. Instead of like scrolling, you know, you're being a little bit creative, you're thinking and you're kind of envisioning. Okay, next, this is for the creative minds out there. Conceptualize a book or short film. You're like, oh, I have a really good idea for a story. If you write stories all the time, or if you know, you have this type of stuff in your brain, jot it out, you know, just start thinking of ideas, brainstorming, throwing it out there. You can come up with character names, like a plot, setting, theme, all this stuff. You can create it, you can make it big, you can actually like put this idea into motion. You can make that book, you can make that short film. It does not have to be high budget, it could be very low budget, just with what you have at home. And then you can submit these things to festivals and contests. If that's really a passion of yours, like filmmaking or writing, you can win prize money, or you can win, sometimes there's specific prizes for these contests, but usually you win just like the title of winner, and people will go watch your things or read what you've created. And it's a really, really good way to put yourself out there, especially if that is a goal for you in the future. Also, it is a really good creative pastime just to like use your brain and think of these characters that don't exist. Or even if you want to write nonfiction, that would be so great too. You can do either. You can base it on your own life, or you can base it on these characters that you've created and conceptualized. You know, this is another indoor activity, but you can also take this idea, this pastime, and you can take it outside. You can go to a park, you can go to a park bench, you can sit in a tree, and you can just write, and you can create ideas, you can draw your characters, and I think that would be such a great thing to do, especially if you don't have any set in stone plans for this August. That would just be a great way to use your time wisely and create something that you can be proud of. Next, start a YouTube channel. Music, hair, fashion, anything that you're interested in, you can share with the world. You know, my videos are kind of all over the place. I just like making videos. You know, sometimes people say it's good to have a niche. If you have a niche and you have like a specific thing that you're very interested in, I'd say go make videos about that. Be yourself and just put out videos if that's what you're interested in. You don't have to spend time editing very much. You don't have to make it all fancy. You don't need a camera. You don't need a microphone. You don't need all these things. You could just make a video on your phone, slice some clips together. You don't even have to, and you just put them out there for people to watch. If you have a hobby that you want to share tutorials on, like I like to crochet, so I could make videos on, you know, basics of crochet or how to make this item. And that is what I'm planning on doing in the future. If you have a hobby or interest, something like that, you can do exactly that and share with the world. If not, you can do commentary, you can do like video essays about world events, current topics, you know, fashion, things that are like very in right now. You can put your hot take in that. It's also another good good creative outlet for people who want to go like more digital rather than writing. Also, if people always tell you like, whoa, like man, your life is interesting, you have the best stories, then go ahead, film some story times. Like I bet you people will sit down and watch crazy stories like, whoa, I almost got kidnapped. People love that stuff. They will eat it up like ice cream. It also builds a lot of confidence to just be talking to a camera when there's nobody there. It will help with your confidence in the real world. In school and stuff like that, you're like, yeah man, like I'm putting myself out there and I'm confident. I love myself and I can be myself around other people. Wow, I just slapped myself. Okay, next one's a little bit weird, but hear me out. Visit your local cemetery. You can bike there or you can walk around. There is usually beautiful scenery and flowers. Cemeteries are so beautiful, and don't knock it till you try it, because honestly, last summer I was going on bike rides throughout my local cemetery and it's just so beautiful. All these stories, all these people are there. There's all this energy. I'm not saying go at night and like perform a satanic ritual. That's not what I mean. See the scenery, the flowers, the beautiful graven stonework. It's just so nice. Okay, next, start reading a book. If you don't like reading, don't worry, I don't like reading either, but if there is a movie, like your favorite movie, and that's based on a book, try to read that book, because chances are that you will really like that book, especially if you like the movie, because as people say, the books are usually better than the movies. This is my experience. My favorite movie is Divergent, and I had watched the movie several times, and then for school I had to do a book report, so I chose to read Divergent because I hadn't done that before, and I really liked that book because I already knew I liked that movie, so that kind of set me up for the mindset that I wanted to read this book. I wanted to finish it. I wanted to get engaged into it. I really like fiction. I really like action and mystery, so Nancy Drew, Divergent, the series, and Alice in Wonderland, those are my favorite books. So if you have things that have been conceptualized into movies and you know you like these movies, definitely try to read those. The new show, Summer I Turned Pretty, those are based on books. If you really like those, go read the books and see the difference in the show and how they casted the actors versus how they describe them in the books. It's very interesting to see. You can make like a Venn diagram about the differences and similarities between the original, the book, and the new show. If you want to spend your pastime like that, that is something interesting, and it's very mentally engaging. Okay, next is sidewalk chalk. Now, everybody is like, sidewalk chalk is for little kids, sidewalk chalk's for babies. I don't do that. Stop right there. Sidewalk chalk is the best thing in the world. If you don't have any chalk at home, you can get it for like $5 max at Dollarama. They have it at other grocery stores everywhere, but Dollarama is a great place to go. You can draw positive messages on the street for people to walk by. You can do hopscotch and get a tan while you're at it because you're gonna be outside. Might as well wear like your swimsuit. It's also another great way to get outside because it's very important to go outside, get some vitamin D, and just see the sunlight, be outside, breathe fresh air, not be inside on your phone all day. This is a great way to do that. It's very fun. What people fail to understand is that we still are kids. We're allowed to do little kid things. Like, we don't have to be little kids to do these things. So, without further ado, my next idea is to have a lemonade stand. It's so much fun. You get to like put yourself out there to your community. You get to say hi to your neighbors, offer them lemonade, especially on a really hot day. It's so refreshing. Another great idea is to do a lemonade stand near somewhere where they're having construction, because the construction workers need thirst quenchers, and lemonade is a great option for quenching thirst. In my experience, I've been able to make about $40 in one lemonade stand day, which is quite a lot of money. You can do a lot of things with that. If you don't want to make homemade lemonade, which I do recommend doing because it is very fun, you know, cutting the lemons, putting it in with a little bit of sugar, water, and mixing it up in your like cauldron type of thing. If you really don't want to do that, you can get frozen lemonade cans and then you mix it in with water. Those are cheaper options. They're full of sugar, but if that's what you're into, then that's definitely an option. In the long run, you do make money, and again, be outside. I'm only like halfway through my list. I swear this is a very long list. You're welcome. Okay, here's something that might be a little bit late in the game to do, but take an extra credit course. If you are in high school, even if you're out of high school, you can take summer credit courses for a credit for your school, like if you're behind or if you just want to learn something new. If you've already finished school or you just want to learn something, you can take that course just to gain that knowledge. Within public schools and Catholic school systems, you can do these online courses for free. You don't have to pay for them, but if you want to go the private route, you will have to pay a small fee, like $40. That could be a lot or not a lot, depending on your own situation and circumstances, but $40 to do this course. You know, some options that are private, there's no like max people, so the slots won't fill up, so you don't have to worry about when you're doing this. Some opportunities you have 10 months to complete these courses, and you do really learn a lot if that's something you're interested in. You want to take up something new. Even things like Udemy or these other online courses like Crash Course and stuff like that, you can immerse yourself into new hobbies and new interests. You want to learn about criminology, you want to learn about forensics, or you want to learn about painting and like oil paints and stuff like that. You can really go anywhere on the spectrum. You want to go back and do some math, you want to do functions or calculus or something like that. You really have these options to do that. Since it's almost August, to register for an August class in a public school system or Catholic school system, usually these courses will be already full because it's almost August already, but you can definitely look and see what's out there. If you want to start a course now and continue until the winter, you can do that because, you know, you can do it in your free time as just an extra hobby, extracurricular, and something that you're learning and putting your brain and thought process into. Next, go to a local farmer's market. I used to go all the time. Every single area has a different day, so just make sure to check about your neighborhood where your local farmer's market is and what day it is, because sometimes it'll be a Sunday, but sometimes it'll be a Tuesday. Usually these farmer's markets are in the morning, so you get to wake up and like see the day early. One of my favorite things when I was little was they always have farmers that come in with their local honey, and they always have these little honey sticks, and I would always buy one, you know, like have the honey from the honey stick. That is something I would put on your bucket list to do this August. Farmers markets usually run until October, depending on where you live and your climate, but here, because we get winter, they end in October. So you have from now until October to go to these farmers markets. If you like honey, go get the honey sticks from your local farmers market. It's so worth it. Okay, this is for the people who are a little bit more like on the handy side. Explore your neighborhood, or if you live in a building, you know, check behind your building for any furniture that people are leaving out that they don't want anymore. Find something you like, or find something that has potential. You can take that home and you can flip it. This isn't necessarily a free thing. If you have someone in your household who is already like a handyman type of thing, they have tools and they have paint and stuff like that, that would be a perfect activity for you guys to do together, or for you to do on your own. Honestly, it's just such a fun thing to do. If you don't have these tools or supplies, it can add up pretty quickly, so it's really up to you. If you find free furniture and you get some paint, you know, sanding paper, and some other tools that you might need, it could balance out if you decide to sell these items later after you flip them. You can use Facebook Marketplace or any other kind of local selling platforms, or if you just want to revamp your room, you can do that and you can flip some furniture for yourself. It's a really fun thing to do, and these are very good tangible skills for you now and for your future. Use YouTube videos, or if you have somebody in your household or close to you that can help you learn these skills, like using power tools or sanding or painting properly. There are proper techniques. You don't have to follow these techniques if you don't want to, but it is helpful, and it will help you throughout your life because you're not going to forget these skills, and they will help you when you maybe live on your own and you have to do these things for yourself. Next, sign up for volunteer hours. If you're in high school and you need your 40 hours or whatever it may be for your personal school, you may need hours, or you may just want to volunteer for your own personal want. Many institutions and companies, they have incentives for volunteers, such as if you want to volunteer at a theme park that's near you, usually they will have an incentive such as free admission to the rides, stuff like that. You get to save your money and do these fun things, or you can just help people. You can volunteer at your local hospital if that's something you're into, help people who are sick, anything you're interested in. If you're really into cars and auto mechanics, you can work at your local auto shop or car wash, something like that, where you can work with cars. This would look very good on your resume if you're trying to get a job in that field. There are also many opportunities where you can work, for example, at a restaurant as a volunteer, you know, just helping out with stuff like this. This puts your name out into the culinary industry, and if you're trying to go into culinary school and that path in life, this volunteer position to start off with really gets you there and gives you connections for that path. If your friends are all far away, they're on vacation, they're at camp, call them up. Honestly, just strike up a phone call, FaceTime. I know personally I don't love FaceTime, but just to talk to a friend I haven't seen in a while, I think it's really worth it. Alternatively, you can write them a letter, especially for friends who are at camp. They don't usually have their phones with them. You can usually send letters to people at camp, which is super fun as someone who is at camp to receive. I mean, I've never personally, but I know that as a camper, you really like to receive letters from your friends and family. If you decide to write a letter to a friend or family member, you may have to pay for an envelope and stamp, but that should not be more than $5, which is a pretty flat fee for any type of envelope mailing or anything like that. Okay, next, I love this. Run through a splash pad with your clothes on. I mean, it sounds a little stupid, but it's so fun. It's like one of those feelings where you're like, I'm free, I'm just doing this, I'm running through a splash pad with my clothes on. I would say don't do this if you're too far away from home, or if it's not that hot of a day, because then you'll be drenched and you'll be out and you'll be a little bit unhappy. But if it's really hot and you can dry off quickly, that it's just so worth it, because it's kind of like you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, because you know, when you run through a splash pad at a park or something like that, you'd be wearing your swimsuit or something that can get wet. But if you run through your clothes on, it's like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, but I am. And so it just makes it like that bit more fun. And it's just, it's so exciting. Usually the water is freezing cold. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna run through now. And then you go, and then you're like, ah, it's all cold, and you're like, oh my god, I just did that. Again, like the fireworks, it's such a striking and memorable memory because of the feeling of the cold water on your skin. You can remember that feeling when you think of the memory later on. And you're like, yeah, I ran through a splash pad with my clothes on this summer. Okay, next, rearrange your bedroom. I am guilty of doing this literally all the time. It'll just be a random Tuesday night at like midnight, and I'll be like, I don't like my dresser right there. And I will just fully switch around my entire room. Who knows, maybe you'll find that you have some furniture and pieces that you don't need anymore. What you can do with these pieces is you can either try to flip them, like I said before, or you can try to sell them on Facebook Marketplace or something of a similar nature. You can try to make some cash, you can save up for whatever you're trying to save up for, and it's just a really great way to make money for teens. Alternatively, if you don't want to sell it, you can just donate to your local thrift store, which is great, but at the same time, local thrift stores at this point in time, they mark up prices for things so much, so it's not even really helpful for people in need because of inflation and all that fun stuff. Next, this is very similar to rearranging your bedroom, but go through a closet purge. I bet you have clothing that you don't need or don't want anymore. You know, winter clothing or even summer clothing that you're just like, this doesn't fit, or it's not my vibe, I don't want it. You can go through all that and you can sell it on Facebook Marketplace. The most fun way to do this is to put on your favorite music and just do a fashion show around your room. Try on all your clothes, go through absolutely everything, even things you think you might like. Go through everything, try it all on, and dance around and be like, am I feeling this item? And if you're not, into the giveaway pile it goes, because you do not need that in your life. That is a great way to make money. Again, if you have like good brands, you know, good quality stuff, you can sell it for what it's worth. Or if you just have like little random things, you can sell in bundles of stuff like that. People really like buying bundles on Marketplace. Alternatively, you can do a clothing swap with your friends. They bring some of their clothes that they no longer want. You bring some of yours, and they get new clothes and you get new clothes at the same time. It's a great way to clear out your closet, but kind of replenish with new things at the same time. And you both benefit equally from this experience. Okay, summer babes, that's it. Those are all my ideas, and now you have this list of things that you can do that do not require friends, do not require money. Most of them, if they do require any money, it's $5 max, so it's very attainable for many of us teenagers. I really tried to stay away from the classics, like, you know, babysitting, dog walking, get a job, things like that everybody knows, everybody already thinks about, but they don't really want to do, or that are just hard to do. I really hope that this list was helpful for you, and I really hope that you find success from any of these things just to make your summer a bit more exciting if you don't have any plans. Let me know in the comments if you've tried any of these things, and I will let you know if I do as well, because I am planning to do some of these things myself. Thank you so much for watching. I will make another video soon.